The Crew Motorfest is going to have Gran Turismo, Forza, and obviously Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Really worried because the Crew Motorfest is actually a really, really good game. I've got access to the closed beta. I did not have a good start to this. It ran at about 3 FPS on my RTX 4090. I had to do quite a lot of tweaks to get it running, but I've got it running and I'm absolutely loving it. Look, in this video, I'm going to let you know all the things that the Crew Motorfest does really, really well that the other games don't. And I'm going to start off here showing you a little race in a Porsche 911 playlist. It's basically their version of a championship. There's my absolutely ludicrous avatar. I don't know why I'm wearing gloves. But the Crew Motorfest is not afraid to let its hair down. It's not afraid to do things that are not super realistic. Now look, you've got Forza Horizon. That is the most absurd racing game ever, all about this ridiculous festival that no one cares about, but they think people do. Then you got stuff like Gran Turismo that, you know, are a lot more serious. They'd never do anything that's not authentic. But look at this in the middle ground. It's a 911 homage race, and you've got 911 cars all over the place, 911 balloons and poster, other sort of 911 Easter eggs around this track, artwork. We're driving Porsche 911 cars through the ages. It's a really cool concept and idea, and actually, ironically, it's more authentic to car culture because it's celebrating the 911 in a fun way. Gran Turismo would never ever do something like this. When they do their, you know, Porsche Challenge or like FR Cup or like Hot Hatch Cup, all they do is they give you a little poster at the beginning to enter, and then the tracks and everything is all exactly the same. The Crew is not like that. The Crew really wear their heart on their sleeve, and they've done exactly that here. And I love it, and it's the same for the Japanese stuff. It's the same for the vintage playlist where you don't even get GPS and you have a different speedometer. They're not afraid to make these little changes that really give you a extra special touch when you're driving. So I love this stuff. See here, finishing the race in, what position are we going to be? P2. And I want to show you what it's like with the progression and the points, because I know you guys and girls like that kind of stuff. Look, I've been playing the Crew since the Crew 1. I actually preferred the Crew 1 to the Crew 2. Test Drive Unlimited one, I really, really, really enjoyed. So I love these open world games. Forza Horizon 4 was so good. Forza Horizon 5 I find a little bit sickly. It's also maybe too good. As a weird thing to say, Horizon 5 is such a good game that it's hard to fall in love with it. It doesn't have that many obvious kind of cute flaws. The Crew 2, the Crew Motorfest, sorry, will definitely have them, as did the Crew 2, as did the Crew 1. Obviously, it's not set in the USA anymore. That's going to be a big turn-off for a lot of people. You can see all the points we've got, and then we go back straight into free roam. And we're in the Aston Martin Vanquish. I was able to carry over from the Crew 2. So probably a little tip here. You could pick up the Crew 2 for cheap, get a lot of cars, because it's near the end of the life, and then import them into the Crew Motorfest. The little mini-games here, by the way, this is my favourite part of the Crew one. Just going around, doing the mini-games, getting the engine parts. I could do that for hours and hours. I love the Crew as a game just to unwind after work. If you had a busy day's work, you just kind of want to drive, but you don't want to think too much. The Crew is always a good way of doing that. And I'm happy to say that the handling is really solid. It's better than the Crew 2 for me. The graphics. I played the Crew 2 on an Xbox Series S. This is a massive step up anyway, playing on a 4090 on PC. But these graphics are really, really good. They are definitely Forza Horizon quality. Look, if you've got Game Pass on Xbox or PC, you will have access to Forza Horizon 5 for, inverted commas, free as part of that subscription. It's kind of difficult for me to recommend spending an extra £70 on the Crew Motorfest on top of that when they're very similar games. And there's a lot that the Crew Motorfest does that's obviously heavily inspired by Forza Horizon. I don't think all of it in a good way, by the way. You can see here cars racing, ghosting. It's quite cool that I think their multiplayer races going on in the same playlist. This is stuff that it kind of leans on Forza 4, what I quite like. The fact that difficulties give you extra bonuses when it comes to credits at the end. That's a really cool feature that's been in Forza Motorsport for years and years and years. But the whole festival thing is, I don't really care about it. Does anyone really care about these fake festivals and racing games? I think Dirt 5 was a game that just got obliterated because of it. Dirt 5 basically had no identity. The Crew still has an identity because they're very passionate about the things they do. So we're doing a Japanese race here in a skyline, and you get actually, there's quite a dramatic race. You'll see what happens, and it's a big sort of pitfall that it's good for you to know about. But you can see here they've, got all these Japanese lanterns in the sky, Japanese dragons, obviously really authentic Japanese cars. We're racing against an RX-7, Mitsubishi Evo, we've got a 350Z, and then we've got an MX-5 up there as well, and an NSX leading us away. So really cool Japanese stuff. The dialogue between the other racers, you can see at the bottom, is actually not super cheesy. And in the past, this would be our own game. This would be like, Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition, sort of street racing in Japanese cars. But the crew, it's more like a globe-trotting game. And I feel like it does it more authentically than Forza Horizon. I don't know if that comes across or if you feel the same way. Let me know in the comments. By the way, let me know if you want to see more crew Motorfest videos. Hit that subscribe button as well. But here in Japan, I'm trying to drive, or not in Japan, but doing a Japanese race in Hawaii. I'm trying to drive quite quickly. And you can see that I'm really struggling to keep up. This is on the difficulty settings that you saw. So it's a real challenge posed by the AI for me. In the previous Porsche race, you saw we came P2 as well. In this one, we need to finish P3 to progress through the playlist. And at the moment, we're in P6. Have a look. Now I've told you need to finish P3. What's going to happen in this race? But the graphics as well, great graphical showcase here, looking amazing, running pretty solidly at 60 FPS I believe on my PC, with the various fixes that I've applied, sort of the Vulkan API issue. See the Japanese dragons here wrapping around the bridge. They really do go and customize it and make you feel like you're immersed in whatever specific thing it's doing, which I prefer. I mean, it makes Gran Turismo 7 look just so sterile in comparison, doesn't it? Like, Gran Turismo 7 puts no effort in making the races feel special in any way. And I think they would say that's because it's not authentic to have plastic dragons all over the place. But frankly, I don't care that much. And Forza Horizon just like sort of vomits stuff on top of you. It's like, ugh. Like, have a load of explosions and fireworks and confetti and some sort of notion of a festival. But see here, trying to overtake P3, the Evo, we go up the inside. So now we are in a position where we are going to actually progress in this race, and I'm struggling here. I'm trying to drive as fast as I can. You can see I'm struggling. Currently in P3, but I'm being hounded by the Evo as we go through these sort of S's. Quite a nice radio message comes up here. They say sharp turn, careful. It's quite a nice vibe. It's not everyone's racing against each other. It's still people having fun. So I quite like the tone of the dialogue here. It's a bit playful, a bit tongue-in-cheek. It doesn't take itself too seriously. And it's not just insane like Forza Horizon 5. So we've got the Evo right behind us. We need to finish in P3. And there goes, oh, is that the Mazda? And then we both miss a checkpoint. But so the AI cars don't actually need to hit the checkpoint, but we do. So I missed it. I think I turned off replay to get some more percentages, and that's it. I had to go back, and I'm not going to complete that race. I had to go back and do it again. I wanted to show you, by the way, the vehicles here. My Peugeot RCZ is not in the game. Come on, add that as a DLC, Ubisoft. But a lot of cars here, very insanely detailed. Yes, the boats and planes about. I don't know why. I don't know who cares about that. But great selection. But I've been really pleasantly surprised by the crew Motorfest. I think Forza and GT can learn so much about it. I really struggled to see how Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is going to go up against the crew. The crew just seems like so polished now. The team making it really know what they're doing. But it sort of sits somewhere between the silliness of Forza and the stiffness of GT. Really interesting. More videos to come. Check this out, and I'll see you next time.